This past weekend I witnessed some corny shit. So my brother decided to take this young lady out, on a date.
Mhm.
And he saw value in trying to build that relationship. He took the young lady out on a date. Everything's going good. But unknowing to him, the young lady's friends was at the bar recording the date.
Right.
They was recording the date. They was, sending drinks to the table to the young lady as if it
What?
was a man sending drinks to the table. Just really disrespecting my homie. And just recording and making jokes throughout the date. We later find that they posted this video on TikTok.
Bro.
And I just want to say that it's corny, it's childish. We grown, man. We 30, 31. Niggas is really trying to be intentional. But when you do shit like that and you're corny like that, it makes it hard for us to take women serious. It makes it hard, man. I mean, that's really truly corny and childish, man. And it's one of those situations where it's like, what's the point? What's the point, man? When women is doing shit like that, it's corny, man. So I'm asking y'all to just stop that. If that's a trend that y'all trying to start, please stop that shit because it's the corniest shit in the world, man. It's corny.
Somebody sends a drink while you're out on a date with another woman. You're going to immediately assume that that's disrespectful, right? Women don't typically send other women drinks. We know this. For them to do that, highly childish, very immature. And I think it's important to frame this situation the right way, just like other situations. You have a lot of people out here who don't take dating seriously. I mean, based on their actions, right? You have men out here who are like, man, I don't care about um, a marriage or building a family and actually getting into a healthy relationship. They're just out here today. And you have men who are actually looking for that. Both people feel very passionately about those stances and they both don't take the other person seriously. In this case, right? In this case, you have men who are doing what women want them to do, be intentional, take them out on a date, and you have women doing what they seem to do best when they don't drink coffee. Of course, we're talking about ruining opportunities with what could be a decent man. And it's not like any of this is even surprising at this point. I just think we definitely do have to call some of this shit out. Because imagine men doing this, it would be a big problem. As always, we're going to check out some of these comments, see what they have to say. And we're going to check out the actual video. Yes, that's playing next. Top comment here says, oop, just came from the video. There she has the tag to the actual account that has the original video, which we're going to check out here next. Somebody else who says, people are obsessed with social media. That's the problem. I think a lot of people would agree with this. People like to blame social media for a lot of the issues in the dating market today. I think it depends. I don't think it's necessarily social media. Like social media is not a living, breathing thing that like decides what it does. I think social media exposes people and you can see more about who someone is, what they value in this instance. And in many instances, what do we see when chicks can choose between taking their life seriously or going on OF, selling their cheeks, garnering attention through videos like this? You can see that there are a lot of chicks out here who value attention more than they do peace, long, loving, lasting relationship. And right before you get to point it out and say, look, there's where you went wrong. You should have been taking dating seriously. They'll start crying. They'll blame men. And you're the bad guy for not taking them seriously later on when they're suffering the consequence of their decisions. Here's somebody else who says it's scary. Let's see what other people have to say. Next comment here. This chick says all three of them are some birds. Here's somebody else who says those are the type of friends that, let's see what other people have to say. This chick here says all three of them are some birds. Somebody else who says those are the type of friends that want you single, right with them. Here's somebody else who says, shaking my head, wow, high school shit. That's immediately what I thought. I said, man, I can't imagine being in my 30. I'm in my, I'm how old am I? I'm 31. Sometimes you forget. I can't imagine being 31 and doing some shit like this, right? Somebody else here says, algorithm, please send me the actual video. So this is the actual video right here. We're going to check this out. and get into it. So it starts off with these texts here that read, yeah, his face being in it is the one thing I feel bad about. Goes on to say, I wish that wasn't in the video, and I'm going to apologize about that part. And so this is an incoming text, as in the person who posted this video received this text. I don't know if it's from the friend who she was doing this with, because remember, there's two of them. They show up to the other friend who's on the date, and they're there to sabotage and ruin that woman's future to finding a husband. And I hope she knows that. If she doesn't, now she knows. Right? This is an incoming text. I don't know if this is from the friend who was on the date or if it's from the friend who they went on the date with. Why does it matter? If it's from the friend who was on the date, we can know that that chick is hopeless, right? She's not calling her friends out here for being immature. Let's check this video out. Let's see what they have to say.
Okay, so girlhood is going to the same bar that your friend is having a date on to go spy.
Girlhood.
Just because why not? Why not? It's Friday night. We ain't got shit to do.
3 shots in, 2 drinks in, couple of free drinks in.
Right. Why not? At this point, like, we might as well go check up on you, girl. Like, how you been? You look so good.
Right. Oh my God. What
Ooh, I love that talk on you.
Remember when women used to sew and cook? Right? You guys remember that?
So good, girl.
We'll check in soon.
So go to the bar.
Yeah, just go to the bar. Don't look around at all.
Don't look around at all.
Never
When we
look
get to the
around.
bar, lay
Never look
eyes.
around.
Lay eyes.
The restrooms.
Now these chicks are at the bar looking for him, right? Trying to figure out how they can ruin a potential good thing here.
Where is she? We don't see her, but we think she's upstairs. There's 3 floors, and we're moving up to the 2nd floor now. So
I can't do this.
yes, you can.
I can.
Do it together. Okay. Hi. No one's down here.
Doing all this when you could be baking a pie. What happened to baking pies? Now all these chicks want to do is take shots of Tito's and twerk on camera for the TikTok and gram.
Okay. Was it me?
So they've spotted him right there in the background.
Was it me?
Black.
More alcohol just in case they weren't, effed up enough.
Okay, we just have the most genius and say somebody sent you a drink. How's the bar? They're sending the drink over right now. It's a French 75. Okay.
So this is the moment. This is the moment where they started to give into the evil whispers of drunkenness. And that was telling them, hey, try this. And they're like, why not? There's the waitress right there taking the drink to the couple. We're going to see how she's going to react. Let's see.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
You know what I just thought of? And I'm really glad I just thought of this. Chisha, stop pausing it. It's not happening. It's not happening. Right. And I'm so glad I thought of this because I was going to keep the chick on the date. I was going to keep her out of the roast session here. But let's be real. She shouldn't have accepted that drink. Am I wrong for that stance? She shouldn't have accepted that drink. Out of respect, if she would have turned down that drink and said, "No, I'm on a date," that's disrespectful. Then in that man's eyes, she would have been put in a whole different category. And I don't want people to say these are young. Nah, these look like chicks who are in their mid-20s, late 20s. Women used to, get married and make very mature decisions at one point. But yeah, she should not have accepted that drink. If I'm on a date with the woman and some guy gets her a drink and she's there sipping it, and you're like, okay. I already know in my back of my head, what? And you're going to drink that in front of me? Nah. Right? Going to play it cool, because a lot of guys then lose it with the, I'm telling her off. No. Just relax, play it cool. And it's the end of the day. But I know it's over. Right? And this is the truth. This is the coffee pot. The men who don't mind stepping on some moral, or crossing some moral boundaries will think to themselves, all right, I'm just going to smash and dash and sell this chick a dream. I'm not saying it's right. I'm saying know that men also move in certain ways, and they all have different intentions, and they all have different moral compasses. And how do I know? Because at one point I would have looked at that and said, okay, yeah, you're just for fun, right? Do I agree with that now? No. And of course now I'm married, but I mean, when I was dating, I did get to a point where I was like, nah, you know what? If I'm not going to go out of my way to revenge and so on and so forth, but you're going to get it. You're going to get it from each angle, either cut off, so on and so forth. She accepted the drink, mad disrespectful. Am I wrong to assume that? Comment down below.
Like, oh, niggas think I'm sweet. So eventually we left. He was like, it was that dude that was sitting at the bar. Like, you can't trust somebody that pull up to the lounge in a blazer. So he did not know. He did not know. Keep the niggas on their toes. On their toes.
Keep the ninjas on their toes, on their mother effing toes. Boy, I can't wait. It's coming. Coffee will be served. Let's check out a few of these comments, see what the people have to say. Top comment here says, and all y'all are still single. That's a fact. You can count on it. You can count on it. Somebody else here added, sometimes it'd be your friends the reason why you're single. In this case, they're right in front of your face. But of course, she's probably not going to accept it until it's too late. Somebody else here says, I never want to be this bored. Yeah, there's so much you could be doing with your time. So much you could be doing with your time. Here's another person that says, if I'm on a date and my friends came and played it cool in the background, okay. But sending drinks, recording, and putting it on the internet is a bit much. But hey, I'm 41 and LOL, so maybe it's an age thing. No, it's not an age thing. There's this thing of this current generation I've noticed where people look at 30-year-olds like, oh, you're 30, still make bad decisions. No, 30 is not the end of the world. Trust me, that's not what I'm trying to get across here. But at 30, if you're over the age 21 in my books, and you're out here doing stuff like this, then people are gonna start to look at you a bit like, yeah, like you gotta grow up. You gotta grow up. Here's somebody else that says birds of the same. Here's somebody else that says birds of a feather. Somebody else here added, may friends like this never find me. This is bizarre. Here's somebody else that says, if the roles were reversed, guy takes girl out, his homeboy came and starts filming and acting goofy, she wouldn't find that attractive at all, probably up and leave. Time and place for everything. There's no time and place for this stupid shit. Somebody else who says, coming from the guy's friend's video. And final comment here says, I'm glad I found my wife. This dating scene is weird. Yeah. Now picture this, right? Somewhere is an older woman or man, because it's terrible. It's terrible either way. Who's about to leave, and I'm not talking about they have a justified reason here. They're about to leave for some BS, not knowing how bad the dating market actually is. How bad you're just going to get dogged and dragged out here. And you're going to assume that people have good intentions, right? You're going to assume that people aren't going to stand you up. You're going to drive 4 hours. I just saw a video of a chick talking about driving 4 hours to meet somebody without a guarantee that everything was good. These are all things today that if you've been seasoned, you just are like, no, I'm not a drive 4 hours. Listen, stay safe out here. If you have friends that are good to you, then keep them close. You know, everyone needs that. And if you have these type of friends who have no problem keeping you single, then if you haven't cut them off yet, this is your motivation too. And finally, to my currently engaged men, if you're currently engaged and need a prenup but don't know where to start, remember, Fathers Have Rights guides you on taking the first step before hiring your lawyer, before hiring your attorney. That's fathershaverights.com. If you need a prenup, don't know where to start, and you're soon to be married or currently engaged, make sure you head over there and join the hundreds of men who are helped by our prenuptial agreement guide. Till next time, I'm out. Peace.